and welcome to Climate Check. I'm excited to host you on the program that focuses on climate action and environmental protection. My name is Mary Mwiikisa. Now, this program is brought to you courtesy Strengthening Respects for Environmental Rights in Zambia project, and this is brought to you by HIVOS Southern Africa with a consortium of other civil society organizations. Now, today on the program, we'll be reminding you of what happened a few days ago. The 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show took place under the theme Adapting to Climate Change. Now, adaptation to climate change and agricultural resilience is the guarantee to food security, especially in times of climate change. And so we managed to speak to a few people there to see if they understood what the theme was all about. And also on the program, we'll be hosting Mr. Ebo Musumali, who is a climate change expert, to just help us appreciate the theme that was at the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Today's main topic is lead mining in Kabwe. Lead, whichever way. But of course, this is mining that is happening in Kabwe, Central Province, and we'll be discussing that and much more. But for now, we take a short break. Welcome back to Climate Check, and we delve straight into the conversation about lead mining that is happening in Kabwe, Central Province. And joining me all the way from Kabwe, Central Province is Mr. Evaristo Mwenya. He is an environmental defender under the Center for Environment Justice, SAGE. Thank you so much for traveling all the way from Kabwe, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Mary.
All right. How's Kabwe today?
Kabwe is okay, except we're having this animal called lead, which is troubling Kabwe.
Yes.
Otherwise, economically, politically, we are fine.
Okay. Now, help me appreciate what is involved in lead mining. What is the status quo currently?
Well, the lead mining in Kabwe has a long history. As way back as 1902, when the British colony started operations in Kabwe. It has left a very, serious and dangerous
trail
in Kabwe. This lead is a toxic metal, which is very, very difficult probably to handle, because I'm saying so because the past 3 decades, it hasn't been sorted out.
Okay.
So the pollution itself remains a significant challenge in that community.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much mining is happening at the moment in terms of lead mining? Do you see more mining companies opening up? Do you see more people getting into mining, or is it reducing?
Thank you so much. When you look at the current operation, in Kabwe, since the closure of ZCCM in 1994, it has shifted from the main mine to small-scale mining.
So there's any illegal mining happening?
There are so many. Just like you may have heard or known, there is a place called the ZCCM dam site. Adjacent to it, there is also another dam site where we have so much scavengers.
Okay.
Scavenging, leaving the environment disturbed with holes and the like. And then on the other side of Kabwe, you have the Black Mountain, the so-called Black Mountain, where a company called Sebo Zinc is owning that.
Okay.
But actually is not fully involved in mining or doing lead business. He is only doing it as a seller. And most of the people that are buying it, 90% of the people that are buying it are Chinese, whose companies you might not even know because they interchange. You see this truck comes with different persons and other. So it is now at a small scale level.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the impact of this pollution on the environment and the population of Kabwe, Central Province?
It's severe. It's severe. This animal code late has left so much destruction in the township, health-wise, natural resource. It's very difficult to get a garden this time around in Kabwe.
Is it?
You must be lucky, because when you look at the pollution levels, it has gone up to about 10,000 parts per million, which is, according to CDC, it is too high. It's a funny part of the arrangement, because you find that at one certain portion, it goes as deep as 4 meters. On the other portions, it goes as less as probably 2 centimeters, just like that. So it is something that has been there and troubling Kabwe people, because when you look at it in health perspectives, it has left a lot of damage to children.
Okay.
We have stunted children. We have children that have lost memory or that lose memory. The IQ isn't very good. We witnessed passing marks at schools that are in that area. Mine school, for example. It used to do very bad, but slowly they are coming up. But still we have that.
The challenge is still there.
It's still there. We have issues of, liver problem, kidney problem, and sometimes productive organs, they also get affected. So those challenges, if we look at those, they are huge, which requires serious and political intervention.
Okay.
Exactly.
What would you like to see happen in Kabwe? What do you think government should do? Because ultimately, the bus stops at government, because it creates policies, and these policies, when implemented, people abide, companies abide.
Exactly. Government is the only last solution. And it must come on board. Because if it doesn't, then we shall be fighting with this. Can you imagine, since 1994, we are still battling with this animal code lead. We are talking about 3 decades. And the problems are there, challenges are there. Probably, in my view, we need to look at the source, because in as much as the main mine was closed, the small-scale mining
have sprung up.
And there are so many. And when you look at the way they transport the same slag,
the safety measures are
there's
not
no
taken into
safety.
consideration.
We need government policies, Ministry of Mines to come in. There are so many regulations that are supposed to guide this, but they are not nearer to the perpetrators.
Okay.
You find that people are doing this with impunity. Trucks are running all over at a very high speed, uncovered. And to some extent, which is very sad, is that you find that the scavengers or the people that work in those areas
are the most affected.
They are the most affected. And when you look at the same people, they have no PEPs. They will move on from home with the clothes, work with the same clothes, and then go back to
home.
Yes.
What is your role as an environmental defender working with the Center for Environment Justice? What are you doing on the ground?
We are actually trying to educate people, give them the theme says, is we are strengthening the respect for environmental rights in Zambia. Overall, we are trying to bring awareness. They must at least understand what it means to have a polluted, environment, which is their right, and so many, policies and alike. So we are trying to educate them, sensitize them, giving them, environmental right education, so that at least they are able to probably understand the challenges or the dangers of finding themselves in the high polluted areas. We need governments to start implementing the bylaws and the policies that are there. We've got them, they are there. Okay. And research has shown that from the time these, it was brought to the attention of government, very little has been done. The committee was set by the president in 2020. It was not actualized. In the absence of that, inclusive Zema, which is very far away from Kabwe, we will have no solution. Only when that is enforced and enforced to the latter, then we shall have a better Kabwe.
Welcome back to Climate Check. Now, the 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show took place a few days ago in Lusaka, Zambia. And of course, the theme for this year couldn't have been timely, and it was adapting to climate change. If we can't adapt, we can't survive. And so I'm joined in studio by Mr. Ebo Musumali. He is a climate change specialist, and he will be helping us appreciate and unpack the theme for the 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show. Thank you so much for making time. It's always a pleasure to host you on Climate Check.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
All right. Now, Mr. Musumali, before we delve into this conversation, I had an opportunity to speak to some members of staff who work here at ZNBC at the ZNBC stand during the Agriculture and Commercial Show. I was just trying to see how they understood the theme. Surprisingly, they actually have an idea about climate change adaptation. Take a look.
Climate is changing. Therefore, we cannot remain stagnant and not change. We must change our way of doing things because the climate is not static. It is changing. And that's the more reason why we need to adapt.
And it's important that people have an idea of what they can do to mitigate the effects of climate change. It's the little things that you do. Maybe close your water as you are bathing. That will help save water. Maybe ensure that you clean your environment.
Yes.
Ensure that you don't cut trees, you don't burn things unnecessarily. In our little way, we can actually help in reducing the effects of climate change.
And also for us as media people, it's important to have such messages to educate the public. Some of these things, when you see other countries struggle, you really don't relate. But what we've experienced as a country today, when someone mentions climate change, you can relate because we've lived with the effects that comes along with it. And obviously, this year's theme is very important because it's preparing us for the future.
Climate change is real and it's here. So basically plant trees if you have to, keep water safe, and basically go solar because that's basically what's happening right now. So as much as you can, do your solar systems and everything will be okay after that.
Well, as NBC, we are aligning with this year's theme, which is adapting to climate change, by showcasing the climate change programs that we air on our television and radio platforms. You know, Mary, we just don't do climate change programs in English. We have gone a step further by doing climate change programs in our 7 local languages. So in all the 7 local languages, we do have programs that are to do with climate change. And this is deliberate. We want to make sure that we reach as many people as possible with information on climate change in far-flung areas of the country.
Those are some of the views from members of staff here at ZNBC on their understanding about adapting to climate change, and that was recorded at the Agriculture and Commercial Show, ZNBC's stand. Now, joining me is Mr. Ebo Musumali, climate change specialist, and he will be helping us appreciate the theme for this year, which is adapting to climate change. Mr. Musumali, let's appreciate this year's theme at the 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show. Why was such a theme important for Zambia?
Well, I think this theme came at the right time, and because obviously in the past when we started these issues of, raising awareness and, campaigns 15 years ago, even more years if we were to bring in people like the late Robert Chimambo,
yes,
who have been doing such kind of work for over 20 years, almost 30 years actually.
Yes.
When we talk of issues of climate change and environmental sustainability, the feedback would get from the public is more to do with tree planting,
but that's all people understood.
It's all about tree planting, but this is an issue that is beyond tree planting. This is an issue that is bordering on the issues of renewable energy. You see, these are the issues that are bordering on issues to do with sustainable utilization of the water resource. sustainable utilization of farming land, soil management, and so forth. Recycling issues, consumption patterns. It's the whole lot of everything. Climate change borders on every sector of the economy. We can talk of climate change and tourism, climate change and energy, climate change and healthy. The impact of climate change on education, on smallholder farmers, So the theme came at the right time because Zambia is one of the countries that is so vulnerable to the adverse impacts of climate change.
Okay.
And Zambia is one of the countries with the low human, development index in terms of the rate at which Zambia is, and it is believed that if we implemented, for instance, our nationally determined contribution and the green growth strategy, it is expected that life expectancy for the majority Zambian out there will actually improve. So this theme actually translates very well in terms of what we need to do as a country at the moment.
Okay.
Because
now,
Zambia's
do you? Sorry to cut you short, but do you think? Emanating from the drought that we suffered as a country, and that's the time we saw almost every citizen mention the word climate change because they could feel it. They could feel the load shedding.
Absolutely.
They could feel the reduced accessibility and affordability to food products produced by the farmers. They could feel the heat and now the government put that theme at the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Do you think this subject is getting the attention it deserves finally from the highest level of governance?
Yes, the 2023-2024 drought actually taught everybody a very big lesson. We saw people actually, a lot of homes finding alternative sources of energy in this case, and also investment levels, in renewable energy went high. We saw government putting in place policy measures to everybody that have intentions of investing into renewable sources of energy in Zambia, reducing the time frame from 18 months to 3 months.
Yes.
You're able to get your licenses from ZEMA, you're able to get your licenses from ERBs. So policy measures were put in place so as to deal with the issue. Because Zambia's agricultural sector, it is mainly rain-fed dependent.
Yes.
So any effect in the rainfall pattern has got a huge impact on crop productivity. And we're talking about almost 2 million smallholder farmers.
Yes.
Who grow most of the maize that which we consume. So that impact actually opened everybody's eyes, and now everybody, at least a good number of people, are able to interpret some of these economic challenges that which the country is having, as a result of the negative impacts of climate change that has affected our agricultural sector, our energy sector, as well as our tourism.
Okay. Now, do you see consistency in terms of finally shifting from rain-fed agriculture into climate-smart agriculture? Let's talk about irrigation. We talk about growing drought-tolerant crops. We talk about various ways of farming, crop diversification. Do we see a permanent shift, or are we doing this because we just suffered a drought and then before you know it, it'll be business as usual?
Yes, I think that's a very important question. We need to take advantage of the shift from, is it the FISIP now to the CASIP?
CASIP, yes.
So the CASIP, I think it has got these issues, that has been explained very well into that framework. But what we hope to see is the full implementation of this CASIP so that farmers are able to benefit, from this program. Issues of planting early maturing crop variety, drought resistant crop varieties. I think that should be the way to go. Now, that can not only be done by government, but those seed production companies. So seed production companies, they need to come on board. they need to become so innovative so that they come up with these crop varieties that will be able to suit Zambia's agroecological conditions, which is 1, 2, and 3. What kind of a crop variety do we need, in terms of maize, for instance, for agroecology region number 1, and what is it that we need for the 2 other agroecological regions?
Yes.
So once we begin to move into that kind of innovative thinking, we'll be able to help our farmers be able to adapt, and also ensuring that we are providing them with early warning. Early warning, information should be provided to them so that they are able to make a rightful decision in terms of when do they begin to cultivate their fields.
Okay, let's quickly touch on the energy sector. We have seen almost every other household has a solar panel on its roof in the past 2 years as a result of the load shedding, which was worsened, which was caused by, of course, the drought that we suffered, because we've been depending on hydro energy as our main source. Of course, we saw government launch 100 megawatts solar power plant in Chisamba, yes. But at household level, at individual level, how can we ensure we start walking the talk ourselves before we can expect government to do something for us?
At household level, you see, Zambia's setup, it is quite not an easy thing actually to transition from this source of energy to another source of energy, because obviously highly dependent on hydro, and even when we were to have full capacity in terms of the much needed megawatts in this country. Let's say Kariba is running at full capacity, all the hydro stations are running at full capacity, we'll still have less than 4,000 megawatts of electricity.
Exactly.
Now, this 4,000 megawatts of electricity, for instance, if we were to supply it to the citizens out there, it is not even half of those that will access this. We're just talking about maybe 40% of Zambians.
And we have industries and mines as well.
Have got access to electricity. That is if we are running at full capacity.
Okay.
What about the remaining 60%? They will still find a way for them to be able to, to have access to any form of energy which is right near to their disposal. So I think at household level, to those that can manage, to buy technologies like efficient cook stoves, for instance. Those could be some of technologies that we can promote at household level.
Okay.
Even those that can afford these, solar panels, the inverters, but those are quite expensive. So if you look at an average Zambian, they have got no intentions in their head even to install solar panels on the roof, because of the expenses that come with these applications. So livelihood issues, poverty issues also, they are playing a very huge role in this case. Maybe you and me, we can afford that, or maybe we can obtain a loan facility to invest into such. But how about an ordinary Zambian who is out there? There is need actually maybe to leverage on some of these existing funds, maybe the CDF or something, so that farmers and communities are able to have access to these technologies at a cheaper cost.
That's the show for this week. Do make a date with me next week, same time, same channel, as we continue our discourse around climate action and environmental protection. The program is brought to you courtesy HIVO Southern Africa, and this is on the project that is strengthening respect for environmental rights in Zambia. My name is Mary Mwiikisa. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.